Of course, you won't see SmbLE on the bottle anywhere, I don't believe, but that's just what people call it for short. So
and all the other recipes, I think when I go to the eye doctor and I get to the last line that I can't see, I just start reading off OESB, OBSK, OESO. I just start.
Hello, and welcome everyone to episode 100 of The Mashup, the best bourbon conversation you can hear all week long. We're your hosts, Michael, Anthony, and Steven. Hello, fellas.
Hey, Mike, I got to go first in that?
Yeah, you know what?
I thought you were going to make it a surprise or something.
That's so exciting. I just didn't know how I'd respond to it, so I was looking at you and I was like, please say something.
I thought it might have been like the Regis and Kathy show when Regis left for like 10 years, but they still called it the Regis and Kathy Lee show or whatever. Yeah. So I thought y'all just kept saying my name, even though I haven't been here.
No, I kept the same intro.
Okay, well, that's cool.
Yeah. So it's just like you never left. It's like, here, you're sitting back in the seat. We're excited to see you for the 100th episode.
I think he's using the same napkins we used a year ago.
There's a good chance. Hey, if they're not dirty, why throw them away, right?
I mean, I guess, right?
I never thought about that. See, that's attention to detail. That's what I'm talking about. You bring it. God, that's so funny. For those of you who are wondering what we're talking about, we put our...
those new listeners.
The new listeners, we put our Glencairns on this napkin, and Michael said he thinks these might be from the last year, and he might be right. That one in the middle is looking pretty sad.
It kind of is.
It's kind of like
it's pretty amazing they've lasted as long as they have.
Yeah, I love it.
I don't know how we haven't spilt more on this table that feels like it's about to fall anyway.
It's good and thrifty. It got us through 100 episodes, and here we are.
There you go.
Yeah.
99. We did one at my house.
That is true.
Right.
That is true.
That's right. I forgot. Was it the only one we ever did not in the
No,
basement?
we did one in...
we did the one in
Dominican?
Cancun, right?
Oh, yeah.
Mexico.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. I remember listening to that and thinking like, oh, those guys sound like they're having a great time. And there's also nothing to drink.
Like drinking
scotch,
terrible scotch in 1,000-degree weather
in the morning.
That's a good trip down memory lane right there.
Yeah, I was sweating it before we even started.
Trying to forget it, but here it is.
We had to go find a bartender that wanted to give us scotch at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh man, that's great.
And then we had to find a place to sit.
Yeah,
that wasn't sweltering.
Yeah, that wasn't sweltering, or they weren't weed eating or something. Like
they're trying to keep the property, and you're trying to taste terrible scotch in 90-degree weather
in the
morning.
Pandas, and
there you go. We've come a long way.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like these napkins.
Yes, sir.
I don't know how we've gotten this far without talking about something.
Okay.
We have not mentioned what happened on Valentine's Day.
Well, what happened on Valentine's Day for me was
I don't want to hear about what y'all did on Valentine's Day.
Nothing at all. You don't want to hear about it?
I mean, I don't.
We had the luxury of making reservations at the Waffle House.
That's a thing.
Oh yeah, it was cool. So we were. This whole idea started a couple weeks before that when we were down in Nashville and we saw that they were taking reservations at Waffle House, and so let's call and see what they got. We brought the kids.
Yeah.
So
all 9 of us went.
So this was a family extravaganza Valentine's breakfast at the Waffle House.
Yes.
So did you guys get vaccinated before you went?
Well, it didn't have to be breakfast, by the way.
Kidding. I'm just messing around.
So first you went in, right?
Yeah.
And they had a hostess.
Okay.
That they scratched your name off and they sat you. You got seated at a white tablecloth.
Oh, how about this?
With
I think it was just a cut up trash bag, but it was a white tablecloth. It was white. It was plastic on the table.
It was protecting it. Yeah. And they had Valentine's Day like confetti on the table. They had a candle.
Okay.
So it was kind of romantic.
Any doilies?
Left over from Christmas, it was the ones you flip on and flip off.
Oh, okay.
They probably took the batteries out and they're going to use them again.
Gotcha.
Yeah. They also had some other decorations on the table, right?
Yeah, they did. They had like a little
bear
gnome or something. Yeah.
So after that, they came to our table and asked us if we wanted sparkling juice.
Oh.
We had a choice of what? White, rosé,
or as the waiter called it, rose.
That is true.
Rose. Would you like the rose?
And we also spent an hour there eating, and we're still not sure if that was a waiter or a waitress. But
oh my goodness!
But yes, it was white. We had grape, like the grape.
Grape, that's right.
Grape.
And so they put it in these little plastic
Red, white, or rose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They put in these little plastic flutes, and they served it to everyone.
Oh,
then they came around and gave candy, like little heart candies to the kids.
Yeah.
Then we had a fixed menu.
They treated the kids really well.
Yeah.
Like
Steak and eggs?
They gave them the hat. They gave them the hats, like
Okay.
the diner type hats, but they had like Valentine's themed, hats and stuff.
So what's next? Are we actually going to be sponsored on this show by a Waffle House now? Just kidding.
we had a fixed menu. You could order from the regular menu,
Right.
but they had like the
choice one was breakfast.
it was
and
like
choice two
the
was like meat.
The two all-star specials for $25,
Yeah.
or you could do the two, basically their steak, their ribeyes or whatever they call it, sirloins.
Did you do steak and eggs? Anybody do steak and eggs?
No, I did
No.
the all-star.
We did the breakfast.
Yeah, we
Okay.
did too.
All right.
But it did come with they called it a gourmet dessert.
Oh, what
Yeah.
was okay? So what's you guys? I mean, really now I'm getting a little hungry, and I'm thinking about this might be in the future plans for me next year for Valentine's
yeah.
Day. So
It
what
was
was
fun.
the special dessert here?
They had choice of cheesecake or like a
Cream
chocolate.
No.
pie.
Oh, cheesecake and chocolate pie. Yeah.
Do
Yeah,
you think it
we
was
all got
made
the chocolate
fresh
pie.
in house by the baker?
It was made in somebody's house, but I'm not sure where.
I actually didn't even get to try it.
We took ours home.
we did too.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
The kids destroyed it before I even got to it. But
It was good.
But to top it off,
Yeah.
that bacon that night was spectacular.
The bacon.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh, so you guys, I'm
Also the-
So you went in the evening.
yeah. Oh yes,
Between-
I thought
this
between
is at
5
6
and
o'clock.
9.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this was like dinner. Oh, see,
Yeah.
I was all confused. I
No,
thought you
yeah,
guys
this
were
is-
bright
this
and
is-
early.
This is Valentine's night.
Oh, nice.
Also, the best was just the people that we were surrounded by.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the best
just
part.
the other people that were dining in there that night were just.
That kind of makes hibachi not as fun, right?
Yeah, it was. I see it on my Blackstone groups that I'm in. Waffle House is kind of just like Southern hibachi.
Yeah, there
if
you
you think about it. They got their griddle and they're frying up their eggs and everything right there on there. So
Oh God,
it is similar.
That's
But
fantastic.
they did a good job. They put the kids at like the bar top,
Yeah.
and we sat, the adults sat at one table. Free
Jukebox.
music on the jukebox.
Oh, really?
There are probably still songs playing on that thing right now that our kids queued up. Like
I know.
they were lining them up, and then they didn't want to leave because they wanted to hear all their songs.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And they were like, "Buddy, it's going to be Thursday before that one comes on."
Oh man, well,
But I thought the best was like I think that couple behind us that were sitting at the bar. I think that was like their special evening out.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm not joking around, and it was kind of sweet.
oh,
Like I think they danced too, didn't they?
There was some dancing.
There
yes.
there was
dancing.
dancing in the
Yes.
Waffle House.
Everybody was dressed up in their best
And
Valentine's Day wear.
they had a backdrop, and we took some Polaroids.
Polaroids,
Yeah.
and they wanted you to do it so they could take it with you.
Really?
Yes.
See, I've heard White Castle does something similar.
They
Is this
do.
true or not?
Yeah,
A white tablecloth. I don't know
yeah.
exactly what it is.
Yeah,
They might
we
have
signed
the
up for
ambience.
it. We signed up for it one time a couple of years ago, but it was during COVID, and so they weren't open inside. And I'm like, then why did I sign up? All it is just if it's just takeout, it's the same thing I would just do any other night
Yeah.
of the year.
Yeah.
So that didn't really work out. You don't get Waffle House enough. Like I would go all the time. I like it.
Nice.
My
It was
kids,
solid. Everything.
my
The
kids
waffle,
like it now. I
the
think
eggs,
so
the
hopefully I
bacon.
can talk them into it more.
Okay.
But yeah, no, they did a good job. They had
That was great.
They had I would call her the maitre d that was sitting, seating people.
They was sommelier, too.
She got the pleasure of telling some people that were just coming in for dinner that didn't know it was a whole event. Like, hey, come on in. We got to stop the one guy from trying to put money in the jukebox. We told him, hey,
Yeah,
dude, it's free
free.
tonight, man. So
He's probably thankful for that, huh?
And
Yeah.
it wasn't all the Waffle Houses. Only you got to go check the website to see which
yeah,
one.
there were only like
participated.
100 or so in like the whole country. Like
That did this.
There was only one. Surprisingly, there was only one in Lexington.
Okay.
and then there was the one in Nicholasville.
That's
so
where
we
we
went to
went.
one because we figured that one wouldn't be as crowded.
Nicholasville.
Yeah, and
yeah.
and I also feel like you probably get a little bit better experience there.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It just fits better in
the Beaumont
Nicholasville.
Waffle House
No,
probably not going to get the same
Yeah.
experience.
Beaumont probably like too high class for this kind of an event.
but it was I actually thought it was a great experience for the kids.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
well,
they enjoyed it. We've set their first Valentine's date, bar pretty high. right?
That's.
Oh, they
I'm
gave
always-
them roses too.
did they?
Like fake
Roses?
roses. I think
Nice.
they were fake roses, but yeah.
Geez, this is like better treatment than you get most places.
No doubt.
Like 9 out of 10 places. So
No doubt.
I think this is going to be in the cards next year. Maybe you guys add me to the
We
plans?
should
What do you
probably
think?
just when it opens up, just
Yeah.
take up the whole place.
Okay.
Let's just rent a whole. Let's just reserve the whole place.
I like it.
It'd be our own Valentine's party.
And it sounds like it's
And the
something
jukebox
else.
would be lit
I
up.
mean, if you all know the size of Steven's family, it's half the place anyway, with just his family.
So we didn't have any shout outs this week.
I know. I was kind of bummed about that 100th episode. No shout outs.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to the people that quit listening when I left. Those are my real fans.
There you go. There's Michael's real fans, and I just want to give a shout out to everybody who has supported us. You know, getting to 100 is a pretty good milestone for us, and we hope to have many more episodes.
Yep.
And I also want to give a special shout out to Harlan Wheatley of Buffalo Trace for distilling delicious vodka.
Tito's may have something to say about that.
There you go. You're right.
I mean, really, if you think about it, though, 100 episodes.
It's a lot.
That's 100 different kinds of bourbon. Like,
And some episodes had more. than
Delicious.
one.
yeah,
That's
true.
delicious.
That's true.
Yeah.
So it shows you, and there's probably 1,000 more out there. You know,
Yeah. We're gonna
900 of them probably suck, but
we'll check back in at 1,000. What do you think?
right, yeah. By the time 1,000 comes around, there'll be 10 million distilleries and everything else.
Well, hopefully by then I can go get Weller 12 on the shelf.
There you go.
yeah, maybe
Yeah.
it'll be Weller 44 by then. So
Or if anyone wants a shout out, just leave a review on Apple Podcasts. The next time I record, we'll give you a shout out. So, fellas, for the 100th episode, I think we have a special bottle. Would you agree?
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's got a Valentine's theme.
That is
That's
true.
right.
That is true. So, gentlemen, for this week, we have a bottle of the 2022 Four Roses Small Batch Limited Edition Bourbon Whiskey.
Oh yeah. So this is the annual release that Four Roses does of their small batch limited edition bourbon, which is the SmbLE. If you're paying attention to the acronyms out there, this is from the Four Roses Distillery in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, owned by Kieran. This is a 2022 bottle date. The ABV is 54.5, 109 proof. The age statement here is an interesting one. So the youngest bourbon in the bottle is 14 years old. So there's actually a 14-year-old OESF recipe, a 14-year-old OESV recipe, a 15-year-old OESK, and a 20-year-old OBSV. So your alphabet soup there for the for the age. The mash bill is for the OE variants. It's 75% corn, 20% rye, and 5% malted barley. And for the OBSV, it's 60% corn, 35% rye, and 5% malted barley. And the MSRP is a healthy $180. But I will tell you, gentlemen, when I found this bottle, I think I paid $220 plus tax.
How many letters can you have in an acronym before there's just too many letters?
All those recipes, I want the cookbook.
Yeah, exactly.
SmbLE. I mean, that just feels like you're just throw another letter in there and it's a word, right?
Well, that's the abbreviation that's been given by the enthusiast groups when they reference this. So, of course, you won't see SmbLE on the bottle anywhere, I don't believe, but that's just what people call it for short. So
and all the other recipes, I think when I go to the eye doctor and I get to the last line that I can't see, I just start reading off OESV, OBSK, OESO. I just start running them off like that. And if y'all have ever seen my eyesight, it's only the second row before that happens anyway. So,
well, mine's getting worse by the day, so I think I'll have to adopt your strategy.
Well, if I didn't know the first line was an E, I would be
well,
on the first line.
I can tell you right now, my glasses are thicker than that bottle is too. So
there you go.
Seems to be the same shape of bottle as a couple other things they've got, right?
It kind of resembles that. They have the small batch and the
Small batch select.
The small batch select,
and then it's got the other one. That's not the yellow label though, right? What they always call Four Roses yellow label. That's the one that's in just like a round bottle, right?
Yeah, I think it's
That's like the
regular
cheapest
bottle.
Like the mellow
Right.
corn bottle?
Yeah,
It's
mellow
like-
corn. Yeah, there you go.
So then there's the other one that's in a bottle similar to this.
Yeah, I can't remember if that one's slightly different though. I don't know. It has the same shape though for sure.
Right. So front seems pretty straightforward. The what's that called?
Embossing?
Embossed. Four Roses right here. I've got the same one on a like a whiskey glass that they gave me one time at Four Roses. It looked just like that. So got good use out of their embosser that day, didn't it? And then, of course, it goes on in the back and talk about distinct, complex, balanced.
Of course,
they
all
do,
the
right?
buzzwords.
Yeah, they all do, right?
Yeah.
It tells us right here. It's going to tell us what to look for: brown sugar, dark cherries, seasoned oak.
Oh,
They welcome you.
they're welcoming.
Is that challenge?
There you go.
Not as
Welcoming all comers.
Oh, not
you open this whiskey.
Oh, there's all kinds, and it goes on for lines about all these other things.
Yeah.
I can't even read them all. That's how. But then it's got handwritten to how many. This is bottle number 3050 of 15,600.
Oh, ultra rare small batch. Then
If they made 15,600 of these, then I've seen 15,989 of them on sale on Facebook. For 14,000, whatever, minus about 12 of them.
And I think I believe that's just a U.S. release. I think they made an additional 6,000 potentially for the overseas release. So they have like a European division where they do
different label.
No, it's the same exact thing, but it's a 700 milliliter bottle. Yeah, your favorite.
Yeah,
you love those 700 milliliter.
They like to rip off the Europeans. Right?
Yeah.
I like that they tell you that at the bottom they give you a little disclaimer so you don't try to take it back. Sediment from the barrel may be present in this non-chilled filtered bourbon.
Oh yeah,
everybody should just do that. If there's a little bit of ashes in your food, it's just
You're
the cook.
fine.
It's just the cook
you
back
just
there smoking
got a
while he was
couple of-
making your food.
There's hair in
don't
your
send it back.
food.
It's
Yeah, don't
fine.
worry
Don't worry
about
about
it.
it. It's supposed to be there.
adds the flavor.
Yeah, you're supposed to be
Well,
there.
if they
So-
want to return, I'll just take it off their hands.
There you go.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's a good shaped bottle. It's a little wide.
Yeah,
It was easy to pour.
Yeah, it was.
Because
got
it's wide but thin.
a lot like a 1792 or
Yeah.
something like that, right?
And the
Or
cork was real nice
Woodford,
too.
kinda.
Nice wood cork, good size to it.
Wide mouth on that.
The only thing that I've always felt about this embossed front, and you guys can tell me what you think, is I always felt that the roses should be colored red. Instead of just being clear like the rest of the bottle and raised up off the glass, I always thought it would be nice if they were painted. But I mean, I'm sure that would cost a lot to paint that part of the bottle. But that's just me being, I don't know.
Do you think that'd be look
Do they do that
chintzy
on?
though?
I was gonna say, do they do that on all of them, or
The raised with the I don't think any of them are.
I just thought they might like spend a little bit more on this one since it's a limited edition.
No, I think that the embossed is special to more of their limited bourbons. It's not on all of them, I don't think. I could be wrong.
I know
could be
it's on
completely
those OESVs and all that kind of stuff. I do know those are embossed.
On the single barrels?
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty sure.
Well,
maybe
if they
I don't
are,
know.
I just wish Four Roses, if you listen, which you know that I've hated you for different reasons. Please paint your roses red. I think it'll make your bottle pop more.
I was confused. Was he talking about Total Wine or Four Roses?
I don't know. There's just too many on the list.
I just remember we went a few years ago. It's been a long time now, like 7 or 8 years ago, when we went on a tour of Four Roses.
Yeah.
We went to the Makers tour first, and then did we go anywhere else in between there? I don't remember. I don't think we did. But the Makers tour was very thorough, and at that time it was really small and hands-on and all that kind of stuff. Four Roses was like, watch a video and let me take you to the gift shop.
Yeah. And was the distillery even?
And then of course a sample. Yeah. Oh yeah. It was
an operation.
I think we
when you
walked like a catwalk around the top.
It felt real industrial.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like we didn't get into it. Like I think we were like walking at an elevated, like on a platform or something, and they like just showed you to look down, and then he took you to the gift shop.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because I have been one on record. I think the first time we ever did a Four Roses on this show, I talked a little bit about my difficulty with their gift shop and their distillery. They have redone the gift shop. Have you guys been out there since they've redone the gift shop?
Negative.
It's actually really nice. It's a lot more spacious. It's more organized. They do actually seem to care about the experience a little bit more. I just remember when I had gone there previously, that beautiful Spanish architecture that their distillery has. It's amazing on the outside. Then you walk in there and you're like, what is this? Like, not that I expect the distillery to look like amazing or anything, but there's just, like you said, virtually no experience. It was just kind of like walk through here, watch this video. You didn't even have any like special stuff to taste when I was there. It was just like taste the small batch and taste the yellow label and whatever else. So anyway, you don't want to hear more about my gripes with distilleries. They're doing better out there than
Does
they
Four
were.
Roses make a rye? I don't think they do they?
No, I don't think so. I don't think a lot of people know a whole lot about the small batch limited. So when Jim Rutledge departed Four Roses, I think it was in 2015 when he sort of retired as a master distiller. But I was actually having to do some research on this bottle because I really didn't know the first year that they started doing this. And it turns out that the first year they did something that they called Four Roses Small Batch Limited Edition was actually 2010. The 2 years previous to that, 8 and 9, they would do an annual release at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. And when they first started doing this, like mixing a few recipes together, they actually called it the Marriage Collection. Go figure. We got the Valentine's Day theme going on today with the roses and the Marriage Collection, whatever. It just seemed really interesting to me that, a lot of people look at this bottle, they chase it every year, they think about it as like this must-have fall release, but its history actually isn't that long. When you think about it, it's not been on the market a terribly long time.
Well, fellas, you want to go for our first nosing?
Get oak right off the bat, like a lot of oak, layered oak.
Get a lot of brown sugar and ethanol if you're not careful.
Yeah, it is kind of, I guess, nosing a little bit more than the 109 proof that it is on the bottle.
I am getting that cherry that Michael mentioned earlier.
Is it cherry?
I've not said the word cherry once tonight, by the way. in the bottle. Oh, when I was reading the bottle.
Yes.
I thought you meant like I thought you meant like I smelled it earlier.
I got it. I always like to tell you guys at home, you should have seen Steven's face when Michael said that.
Yeah, you did.
It's like, wait a minute. Yeah, you did.
I forgot I read that. But when I read off the back of a bottle, I should have just known. It's just, I'm just going to say cherry.
I'm getting something berry-wise, but it's like, I don't know if it's cherry. For me, it's like either strawberry or raspberry or something. Like it's kind of been more in that realm.
I can see that.
It's kind of, it's berry. It's berry, oak, ethanol. It's kind of where we're at right now. Berry, oak, and ethanol. Anything else? Brown sugar, you said, right?
That's the first thing I nose.
Okay.
I do like the nose.
Yeah.
I do like the nose.
You could sit with it. It's got a nice, okay. I will say one more thing about it. If you've had the opportunity to taste and nose more premium bourbons, this kind of has that sort of feel to it. It's got like a rich feel to it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Michael, you mentioned Facebook earlier. Are either of you guys in the Facebook group What Does Four Roses Have Today?
I am.
Yeah. And what do you think about that wonderful group? I mean, it's not like What Does Buffalo Trace Have Today?
No, it's not. It's different. So they've got two different places that they sell like gift shops, right? They've got
so they got Lawrenceburg, and then what's the other one?
Lawrenceburg is where the distillery is, and then they've got Cox Creek, which I think is the bottling.
Yeah, but they release stuff there.
But they have a gift shop there. Yeah. So hey, you know what? If you can have more than one gift shop, sell more stuff, go for it. I guess, right?
Yeah.
So is one like for general merchandise and bottle? One is just for bottles?
I have no idea what the
that kind of be
Cox
smart if they
Creek
kept the bottle stuff separate.
Yeah.
So they both sell bottles, but I don't know if they have. I don't know if you can just go into the Cox Creek one and buy a regular Four Roses. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure either because I've actually never
or a T-shirt or anything like that.
I've never been to Cox's Creek. I've never been to that one.
It's a little bit more north. I think it's between Bardstown and Louisville.
Okay,
so it's on like I-65.
Yeah,
up that way a little bit.
So if you're looking to keep track of, and so this is my big beef with Four Roses always. When you go to the distillery, the one thing you're always hoping for is a single barrel strength bourbon because that's, I mean, outside of the core products, that's pretty much just something that's released pretty often that people go crazy for. I can't tell you guys how many times I've been at the distillery and they don't have any barrel strength. I mean, like, why don't you have any? Oh, well, we just didn't get any in.
But you didn't make it right back there,
right? You make
right?
it back there. Like, how do you not have any in stock? And so the one thing about that Facebook group that's been really nice is I have twice since it's been in existence had the actual time to run out to Lawrenceburg when people are like, oh, they have a 10-year-old OBSV or an OBSO or whatever that they just put out. It goes pretty quick. It usually goes within, like, I would say, if it's a really sought-after recipe, it might go in like 2 hours. But if it's something that's a little bit more mainstream, it might take a little bit longer to sell out. But if you pay attention to that, you can usually catch one of those bottles out there. And I think they're around $90 now.
Yeah, they're honestly, they're cheaper than they are at a store. Like, compared to like other gift shops that are usually more expensive than a store. Mm-hmm. Like, I think they haven't really raised theirs a whole lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm the same way. Like, I see it, but usually by the time I see it, it's too late, and I'm, I can't get there. We're 30 minutes away, or I'm 30 minutes away.
Yeah, and because
although the other day,
I was going to say, when we were going down to Nashville, I was in one car, he was in another car.
I don't know how far, a couple miles ahead of you, but
okay. But Michael shoots out to us like, Four Roses has this, but we've already passed it, and I was like, I don't know, 15 miles already past the exit.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't even think you're that far past it.
Yeah, it was close. I think the problem was when you texted me, I was driving and I didn't see it.
There was just nowhere to get off or anything. So
I think I just passed that.
I think that was OESO.
It was a big one. It was not OBSO.
OBSO. Yeah, something they hadn't released in a while.
Yeah, it was a good one. And it was like 12 years too. It was like pretty,
Man, that would have been
pretty
nice. Big one. We could have been tasting.
I did get one. I got one during COVID out there.
Okay.
Like they did them online, and and you had to call.
Oh yeah, that was when I got angry. Remember that?
Yeah, you had to call like 1,000 times before you got through.
Oh,
yeah. I did get one out there. That
bad memories are flooding back. I remember I was mad at you for that because I called
Oh yeah, and I did get in.
Oh, you got it right away.
I called like 6,000 times, and you called like once, and you got the bottle, and I was like sending letters. I was
Hey,
so
buddy,
mad at
you
Four
got this
Roses.
bottle?
Yeah,
So
this bottle.
I know a guy that's his. It's like I'm name dropping here, but
No, drop the names.
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Give up the gold.
You know how people like
gold.
to name drop?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is a big one.
Okay.
So I know a guy whose wife makes the bourbon balls for Four Roses.
Okay.
That's huge.
That's
isn't it?
pretty mega, yeah.
It's pretty big.
So that's how you got preferential
Yeah,
treatment.
that's-
huh?
yeah.
yeah.
Got the
Just
house.
calling like,
But we tried to get her, me and another guy, we tried to get her to go back there and like on one of those special releases where they were doing like the 20-year or the 22-year, whatever they were doing. You know, when I think maybe when they did the new gift shop, they opened that and they had that like
Oh, that
20,
one, the bottle.
Yeah,
The-
they had
the
that
box.
one. And so, so they because when she goes to make the bourbon balls, they tell her, "Hey, just go back there and grab some bourbon."
Oh, geez.
You know, like
Oh, nice.
get whatever you need so that you can make your bourbon balls. And we're like,
dang.
go on back there and
Go grab
a
yourself
couple
some-
balls while you're back there. You know, grab what you need, but then grab what we need too. You know, so didn't work out that way though.
That would have been a nice setup.
Well, fellas, should we go for our first taste? There's the Four Roses.
What are you talking about, Sarah?
That spice bite.
It does have some upfront spice. Definitely. You can catch that. It's a high rye, though. I mean,
Yeah.
one of the mash bills got what, 35% rye, and the other one's 20, so that's pretty high rye. And then, man, though, the finish to me is pretty sweet. Like a sweeter finish, like sweet oak, a little bit of berries. Those are definitely transferring over. I definitely think it's a strawberry or raspberry now.
That's funny you said that. To me, it's a very delicate bourbon,
Okay.
like in your mouth, right? It's silky, but I feel like the finish falls off very fast. There's a hug, but I feel like the finish just goes away. Do you feel the same way?
Actually, yes. It's medium at best. It's not really a long finish. It's medium.
That's pretty weird for as high proof this is.
Yeah, it is.
That's what I was going to say. It's not to me. It's not an overwhelming finish.
Yeah.
You know, still a little hot. It's definitely
It's not too hot.
no, but it's
You
definitely
feel it,
spicy.
yeah.
But it definitely. I think it tastes more than 108 proof or whatever.
Yeah. It's warming.
It is warming, and I was told that. So
Along with cherries.
yeah.
There you go. Warming and cherries.
Turns out I
Is that
did
what
say
it says?
cherries.
Oh, warm flavors. There's layers of creamy vanilla. The layers of creamy vanilla come off to
We
me
did not
as,
say anything about vanilla, have we?
Yeah, to me it comes off as a little bit more of that like buttercream frosting kind of flavor. That's kind of what I'm getting, not really vanilla.
How do you think they come to this very like light, silky liquid?
I'm not sure.
I guess it's something with one of these recipes.
Yeah, so you guys know that we went through the recipes, and I don't think we talked about what each one is supposed to represent. But
that's
they
another
have,
episode.
They have like little, they have like little descriptors, right?
Yeah.
So it's like one's floral forward, one's this, one's that. So obviously, none of us have the blending abilities of Brent Elliott there, but I'm sure that's part of the balance. And
It was like his infinity bottle.
yeah.
He just threw a bunch of stuff together.
What the
So
interest-
actually, this is on his counter all year, right?
Yeah.
Just
And
sits there.
they start emptying stuff, and they call it limited edition.
It's limited.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's limited because he just poured what was left of a bunch of different bottles together.
well,
That's all we have. It's limited.
the Master's Distiller's Infinity bottle. I love it. No, but it's interesting. I don't really know. I do think that Brent's been given like accolades for his blending skills, and some people have called his blends like the best since he's been doing this. I think since 2015, but I haven't had a whole lot of these. I just know that I've talked to a few folks that are like fanatics about this, and they haven't really been fans. One of my buddy Jason for Arsenic Culture is kind of a Four Roses guy,
Yeah.
and he doesn't. He said that the last 3 years of this haven't been his favorite. So
Really?
I don't want to speak for him, but he did just tell me that. So give him a little shout out because he's more ingrained into Four Roses than I have. But
When do these come out?
it's usually one of the first releases of the year. So it's
it'd be coming up
September,
soon, probably?
September, I
Oh,
think.
Oh, the fall release.
Oh, fall release, yeah.
Okay.
First release is the fall. Sorry, I said of the year. I meant of the fall bourbon season. It's usually about the same time as the old birthday bourbon, first week of September, I think, or second week. Yeah.
All right. Well, sweet.
It seems to hit the distillers later, though. The retail later than it does their gift shop, though. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
they do sell this at stores too?
Yep. It's retail, and then the gift shop is like usually the first, and that's when they get that massive line out there. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
People act like idiots.
Yeah, parking all over the side of the road and everything. Yeah.
So, fellas, would you pass, try, or buy on the 2022 Four Roses Small Batch Limited Edition Bourbon Whiskey?
I'll take the lead on this one. So the weird thing is I've been doing a lot of this stuff lately where I'm like not solidly a pass, try, or buy. But I like what Four Roses has been doing in recent years. And what I mean by I like what they've been doing is this blend has never been as old as it's been in the last couple of years, with them putting 20-year-old bourbon and stuff like that in this blend. So I actually enjoy it because I do like a lot of the tannic oak nature to it that comes off sometimes as a little bit astringent, but I think it's really balanced for an older bourbon, for an older blend anyway. And I really do like the berry notes. And so if I can find it at retail, I'm going to be a buy. But I think in the enthusiast markets, I'm probably not going to offer up I think these go for around $450-ish, $450, $500, depending on year.
I would buy it to sit on my shelf or to flip it.
Okay.
But I would pass on any other time, I believe. I just didn't like it that much.
So no drinking.
No, I wouldn't probably drink it.
Okay.
So if it was sitting on a shelf at retail, would you buy it?
I would buy it, yes.
Okay.
But not to drink.
But I would not open it.
So yours is purely aesthetic.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That's right.
There's nothing wrong
That's
with that.
interesting. I don't know if this is a pass or a try. I don't know how to.
It's a buy to me. Sounds like a buy.
I guess it's a buy.
But to drink, it's the pass.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I
It is
said.
a pass, yeah.
I think I'd go back to like a bottle like the Buffalo Trace offers, like E.H. Taylor or something, right? People like to drink E.H. Taylor, but as we've often said, as a drinker, it's probably an average drink.
Yeah,
it's a try for sure. But if you buy it because you're going to be able to do something else with it if you don't like it, yeah.
Well, I don't want my Four Roses negativity to come out in here because I'm not a big Four Roses fan.
Okay, be as objective as possible.
Yeah, right. I'm going to say that up
And
front.
you're on the clock.
So I think I'm going to be a try on this.
Okay.
I really like the notes on it. I don't like the Four Roses bite that they always have. So, but I'm sure some other people will really enjoy this.
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah. So I think I'll be a try for this product.
Both of you guys in a couple sentences or less. I can go first. How does this stack against your premium? Or no, I won't go first since I'm asking. How does this stack against your other experiences with premium stuff? So I know you both have had William LaRue Weller, Stag. I know you both tried Pappy, Birthday, other things you tried on the show. How would you rank it compared to some of those, or what would you say like you compare it to, if anything?
This is at the very bottom.
Okay.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, because the little book was phenomenal. This Can't Touch William LaRue.
Yeah.
Birthday was fantastic. This is just not there, I think. And those are cheaper, I think, at retail.
Yeah, yeah. And
A lot of them are higher proof and taste smoother than this one did, too.
And more dynamic.
Yeah.
that's true. And I would have to say that I would have to temper with your all's thoughts to buy it, because having tasted a lot of stuff, I do agree that this is probably toward the lower end. But then again, this is different every year. So I do remember trying an older version of this with a couple of friends, and it tasting, I feel like, better than this one tastes. So maybe it's just a bad run, or maybe, it's good, but it's just not as good as some of the other stuff the distillers are putting out.
Did Jason say why the last couple of years were up to, I guess, what he considers a good level for this product?
No, and I think that if I had to guess, the only reason he would say that is because he's very experienced at tasting a lot of different years, probably since 2010. I would guess he's probably tasted at least almost all of them. He just said it just hadn't stacked up, and I've heard that from other people too. So I don't know if it's maybe it's the inclusion of the older bourbon that's messing it up.
Right. And with that, thanks for listening to this week's edition. Please like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Mashup KY. Also, let us know your thoughts on this bottle in the comment section. Until next time, keep it neat.